Listen, the problem with lying is that it's weak. Lying is effeminate trait, and if you lie to a woman, you're just setting yourself up to lose her respect. A lot of men don't get this. Say you went out, you cheated, and you come home with lipstick on your collar. If you start blabbing, oh, it's my friend's girl, she hugged me, and she catches you lying, now you look like a scared little boy. You're lying to a girl for crying out loud, like have some balls. Look, I'm not saying you've got to be cold-hearted. But if you just say, yeah, that's lipstick, I don't want to upset you, but that's the truth, she might not like it, but she'll respect it. I don't lie, I don't deceive, I don't play games. It's all up front. People think, oh, Tate tricked these girls into cam work, he manipulated them. Bullshit. No tricks, no lies. I tell them you're making peanuts as a waitress. Come sit in my mansion and make $5 a month working on a laptop. Women don't want to be right, they want attention. They're not interested in winning arguments, they're interested in being heard. That's why no matter how much logic you throw at her, she doesn't care if she's wrong, she just wants the spotlight. And yeah, there's an angle here. Anything that gets under her skin outside the bedroom, you can use it in bed. All those things she hates, those are the same things that'll get her off when it's just you and her. She's pissed I'm with other girls, cool. But if I'm telling her while I'm with her, you're just here for tonight, I'm bringing another girl tomorrow, suddenly she's all over the place. And this whole idea, they push like, oh, just join a social circle and you'll meet girls. They just want you to join their little club bullshit. If you're out in the world doing your thing, you'll meet women, sure. But I don't know men who roll with girls that aren't theirs. Look what kind of dudes you know just hanging out with a bunch of chicks they're not even with. Seriously, what kind of man does that? If you see me with a girl, she's either my girl or she's someone I'm planning to get with all right. Why would I be wasting my time hanging around with 5 random girls just for my boys to smash? That's some loser behavior. I'm not about to sit there like, hey, here's my 5 friends. We talk about doll collections. Go ahead, guys, have at 'em. That's just pathetic. If we're talking about the easiest place to get laid, 2 spots hands down. Number 1, England. Why? Because English chicks are dumb as rocks, man. Straight up, they're just brainless. All it takes is like, hey, let's drink vodka and play games, and they're in. It's like 0 expectations, 0 standards. They're not even hot, but if you're just out for a good time, yeah, England's a breeze. Now, for real stunners, Sweden. Yeah, people talk trash about Sweden, but I had it good over there. MLD hates my guts, but listen, the dudes all talk. Hides in his little setup, angles the camera so he doesn't look tiny, acts like he's some tough guy. Here's the deal, I grew up handling my problems face to face, no cameras, no bravado. You got beef. We set a date, show up, and handle it in the cage. That's how real men deal. So if this MLD clown or Brian want a shot, I'll fly AM first class out here, probably the first time they've ever seen first class. They can step into a cage with me on live Romanian TV and we'll settle it man to man. Otherwise, who cares if they're yapping on their YouTube channels? I'm here in my Bugatti living large and I honestly don't care. They want to keep crying. Let them. I got too much going on to be worrying about small timers. But anyway, back to the point, Sweden. Stockholm is where it's at. Swedish girls, they've got top tier looks, but they let themselves go young. They're hot at 19, washed at 24 cause they can't be bothered to hit the gym. But they're open-minded as hell. They'll hook up with you just to have a good time, no strings, no hang-ups. It's like, yeah, I'm a free spirit, it's fine. Call it feminism or whatever, it's just easy access. Swedish women. Yeah, a few turned out to be cool girlfriends too. Not bad people, just super liberal and pretty casual. Sweden's solid, but don't go broke trying to impress him. You still gotta have game. Bro, at your level, with the experience you've got, there isn't a single damn country on this planet you wouldn't do well in. That's just facts. Like Anthony says, there's a full-on war on men in America. It's real. I've lived my life never hurting anybody yet. The amount of women I've had to kick the fuck out of my place because they mouthed off plenty. And in the States. One of them would have gone crying to the cops, making up whatever lie they wanted, and it'd wreck your life just like that. In America, a guy can't even stand up for himself. You can't tell someone to get lost without risking your entire life. Here I kick you out. You're out, end of story. But over there, forget it, zero control. That's why living in the West as a man is dangerous, plain and simple. Guys come to me, ask for advice. What do I do, Andrew? And I'm straight with them. If you're in America, brace yourself. The system is stacked against you. Basic economics, man, supply and demand. When you're in a place with beautiful women everywhere, they don't have these inflated egos. But yeah, Ukraine, Romania, they're similar. The women aren't easy, not by a mile. They're hot, yeah, but they're flaky and they're not throwing themselves at you. Moscow, same deal. People think I moved to some third world backwater, but Bucharest is crawling with millionaires. Money alone doesn't get you anything out here. And that's the thing. Go to Moscow, think your $10 bill is going to do anything. You're dreaming. Moscow's full of millionaires, billionaires, oligarchs, G-Wagons, and mafia boys. Same in Romania. I want my Lambo fixed. I'm looking at a 6-week wait. There's tons of people here with serious cash. Money isn't enough by itself. That's the cold reality. And all the hate you see, that doesn't come from people at the top. No, it's jealousy. They hate my success or yours because it points out their own insecurities. Here's a perfect example. I'm driving my Lambo in Romania and no one says a word. But in England, I pull up and someone always yells rented. That's a compliment to me. The idea that I could actually own this car is so insane to them, it must be rented. That's the same as someone saying, oh, you're on steroids when you're not, or your girls must be hookers. My women are so stunning, they can't believe they're with me for real. Being an alpha doesn't mean being a dickhead to everyone around you. It's not about acting all tough and humorless. Some guys try so hard to look alpha, they end up looking like clueless betas. You can be a man, have fun, crack jokes, and still be respected. I know who I am, my woman knows who I am. I don't need to be shouting, screw you, I'm in charge, all the time. Anyone who has to act like that, they're faking it just trying to copy an alpha because they can't be one. And that's the thing. When I'm talking to a real guy, someone genuinely about it, there's no posturing. It's all straightforward. There's none of this, oh, I fuck this, I fuck that. Those are just clowns, imitators. And you see them everywhere. They're all over the place. Everyone's going on about how masculinity is dead, and yes, sure, there's some truth there. But I grew up around killers in the fight circuits, dangerous men. That was my life. And we were all respectful, all real. Nobody sat around bragging about bullshit. They were training focused, aiming to win. That's how real men act. Then you see these wannabes online running their mouths like, yeah, I'm so badass, I'm gonna. Dude, you're not doing anything. You've never even thrown a punch in your life. You look like an idiot. And they don't even get how a true alpha carries himself. If what I said wasn't hitting home, they wouldn't care. But the fact they're losing their minds over it, it's cause they know I'm right. They know. They're talking about me every day. Meanwhile, I'm not watching. I don't even care. Fuck them. Yeah, fuck them. So I started the War Room because it's what I wanted when I was younger. When I was 21, I watched The Matrix, and there's that scene where Neo downloads everything. He knows Kung Fu instantly. I was like, where do I go to learn how to get rich, build power, and get women? I wanted 10 passports, 10 driver's licenses, paperwork that made me untouchable. Friends around the world who had my back. That's what I was after, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So when I finally reached success, I built it. The War Room is about personal sovereignty. It's not political. We're not out here to save the West or worship any politician. We're about saving ourselves as individuals, about getting as many passports, as much paperwork as possible so no one can control you. Corona proved that right. While everyone else was stuck, I went to 16 countries. You think your American passport means anything? English passport. Not anymore. Romanian passport. Different story. Now you need a stack of paperwork just to be free. In the War Room, we teach it all. We teach how to make money online, how to handle women, how to get out of the system's grasp. When I hit Belarus, I've got War Room guys on the ground waiting, people who know the place who I can trust. We're in 60 countries, a real international network of top-tier guys. And it's not easy to stay in. Inside, there's a culture you've got to show results, hit milestones, prove you're leveling up. If you don't, you're out. Only the best make it. If you join and you're not a winner, you either become one or you're gone. In the end, only half the guys make it. Hundreds have been kicked out. It's not a club for slackers. Everyone in there is a winner or on the way to becoming one. And me, marriage, not happening. I've got a woman, I love her, we're together, but I'm not getting married. There's no advantage to it. Women want marriage, most men are just pressured into it. Please, please, until they cave. Not me. I don't need it, and I won't do it. There's no reason for it in my life. Listen, yeah, I've got relationships and I believe in them. When you're down, when you're sick as hell, you want a woman who actually gives a damn right. If you're just chasing random chicks forever, who's there when you're on the floor sick or broken? It's not even about being emotional. It's about having someone who'll look at you and bring you that soup when you need it. Everyone wants that. It's human. But let's get one thing straight, monogamy, not happening. That's not who I am. I'm not wired that way, and I'm damn sure not faking it. A woman who wants monogamy can go find it somewhere else. I'm not stopping her, but me. I'll tell her up front I'm not monogamous, but I'll still love her, still look out for her, be her man, handle her problems when she calls. But I'm also going to be with other women, period. I'll never be monogamous and I'll never get married. If someone else is happy settling, great, let them do it. I'm not here to talk anyone out of their choices. You want to jump off a bridge, go for it. I'm just telling you straight, I wouldn't do it. People like Roll, yeah, he talks about theories, and that's cool. His own theory even proves why we attract the best. High-value men get the most attractive women. It's not rocket science. He's not wrong. I don't have beef with him, he's just spitting his life experience. But don't come at me saying, how can I get rich? Exactly, that's not how it works. When you're around millionaires, you don't ask them to hand you the formula. You learn by watching, by doing. If you're in my world surrounded by DCI millionaires and multimillionaires and you're sitting there asking, but how exactly do I make money? You're already showing a weak mentality. It's a loser's mentality. If you're that skeptical, don't even try joining the war room. The war room is for people who know what it takes to win. It's for those who don't need their hand held, who don't sit back and wait for others to spoon feed them. You either run with the lions or get left behind. So if you're Eddie, if you're standing there with your skepticism, keep it. Stay out. The winners are going to keep winning, and if you're not ready, we don't want you. Look, if you're going to try to come at me with some weak-ass diss videos on YouTube, go ahead, waste your time. But here's the truth, I came up in a physical world. If you want my respect, you're not going to get it with your mouth. You'll have to step into the cage or find me on the street and actually do something. I'm a physical guy, I always have been. That's how I earn respect. I became a champion because I showed up, I fought, and I won. I respected the men who did the same, even the ones I beat. Hell, I broke my hand on an Armenian guy's head, his eye swollen shut. And I still shook his hand after. I told him, you're a fucking warrior. This is how I operate. If you don't understand that, then nothing you say matters anyway, because I could shut down all your opinions with the physical strength you lack. Simple as that. So yeah, hate me if you want, sit and talk all day. But if any of these dudes want to make a real move, we can arrange it. We both know they won't. People talk shit about me, yeah, but I don't hold grudges. I've had positive experiences with guys like R and Cooper. Even if there was a bit of drama before, it doesn't bother me. They seem cool enough to me now. I know who I am and I'm living my life. Life is good. I'm doing what I do best and no one's stopping me. And here's the thing, I take responsibility for everything. If it rains, I blame myself. If it's out of my control, I don't want it. Most men don't get that. Oh, it wasn't my fault. Well, now you can't fix it, genius. It's about control. I'll take the blame for every bit of it, even the fact I look this good. It's all on me. And the hate, it's jealousy, plain and simple. I'm everything they're not. If I were some broke, short dork saying the same things, nobody would care. But because I'm tall, rich, got a jet car's properties, because I'm the guy women want, the guy other men dream of being, they hate me. It's that simple. These people don't even know why they hate me. They've just been programmed to, NPCs. You know what that is? It's like a character in a video game just saying the same line on repeat. Hate's dangerous for women. Why? They can't even say. The sad truth. Half of the population is dumber than average. Math and statistics prove it, and they're out here repeating whatever they're told without a single thought in their heads. And that's why they're mad. Because I'm living the life they wish they had, and they know they'll never get close. I said corruption's way more accessible in Eastern Europe, and let me tell you why. First off, I live in Romania, and it's an amazing country, beautiful people. But every time I mention that, people go, why would you live in a corrupt country? I answer, every country is corrupt. If you're sitting in America thinking it's squeaky clean, you're delusional. The entire world's corrupt, England, the EU, Russia, all of them. So if they're all corrupt, I'd rather live in a place where the corruption is actually accessible to me than somewhere they pretend there's law and order until you hit a certain level, then suddenly you're in the VIP lane for corruption. Let's take a real world example. You're married to a senator in America, just hypothetically. If you screw up, you get a free pass. But if you're a single mom busting her ass at minimum wage trying to get by, and you get a DI, you're done. Your life's wrecked. See, what pisses me off is that in these so-called law-abiding countries, the corruption is only for the elites. You're either in or you're nothing. Now take a place like Serbia. Same story, senator's husband with a DI. He's good to go. But a regular guy in the same spot. Listen, man, I'm sorry. Here's $50. I've had a rough day. I'll drive straight. They take it, send him home. That's accessible corruption. To me, that's a way better environment than somewhere that'll take an average Joe, rip his life apart and throw him in jail, all while preaching law and order like it's some holy mantra when it's bullshit. At least in Eastern Europe, they're honest about the game everyone's playing. I'd rather be in a system where I can actually participate than one that's a rigged show for the elite only. Listen, the threshold for corruption in these high and mighty places is too damn high. If I'm looking at life like a chessboard, and yeah, I'm a chess player, so I analyze every single move, I'm thinking strategically. I have financial freedom, geographical freedom. So why wouldn't I want to live somewhere that gives me the maximum number of moves? Somewhere my money can actually buy me some advantages. I'm not a billionaire, I'm not some senator's kid, but I've got enough that in certain places I can live like a king. That's just intelligent strategy. I've explained this before, but they twist it every time. I talked about speeding tickets or the way I live in Romania, and suddenly it's, oh, he's misogynistic, he's dangerous. They pull in the corruption angle, mix it with some baseless accusations and serve it up to the world. All of it complete bullshit. They'll say why Romania. Here's why Bucharest is 25 times safer than London. Dangerous. Please. It's one of the most Christian countries on the planet. Churches everywhere, good people, high values. It's just a different economic bracket. You take any second world country, and sure, there's a level of corruption, but it's affordable, accessible. It's human nature. Every country has corruption. It's just about whether you get access or not. Every institution on earth, judicial systems, banks, hospitals, governments, is corrupt. If you believe any of these places are purely just and fair, you're living in a fantasy. Hell, even medicine's corrupt from top to bottom. So what do? You look at the chessboard and go, all right, everything's corrupt, and some people are playing on cheat mode. So if I'm trying to be the best version of myself, why wouldn't I want to get in on that? There are places I could play on cheat mode, maybe Nigeria, Croatia, or right here. But if I'm in some first world country, I'm supposed to follow all the rules while others don't. That's a one-way ticket to getting crushed. So it's just smart business to say, screw it, I'm changing the board. I'll set up my pieces somewhere I can actually make moves. This isn't about disrespecting any country. It's about understanding human nature and the reality of the world. Now, people want to twist my words, throw some weak-ass girl shit spin on it like I'm talking about something light, when all I'm saying is the world is rigged, plain, and simple. You think I'm worried about some basic ass speeding fines? No, I'm talking about the deeper game here. And yeah, we can go on and on about how corrupt America is, but if you've got even half a brain, you already know the kind of crap that's going down. The whole damn world is corrupt. You really believe the people running this planet aren't going to do whatever it takes to stay on top? You think they're not out here thinking, screw it, let's bend this rule, let's twist that law. You seriously believe it's all fair and square? Nah, mate, nothing is fair, never has been, never will be. If you've been through real shit, if you faced any actual hardship, you already know. I've never seen a fair fight on the street. Relationships, that's a damn battlefield, nothing fair about it. Some poor bastard gets smashed by a truck. Fair. The world is as brutal and unfair as it gets, and anyone promising fairness is selling you a load of bull. They say, put us in charge and we'll make it fair.
Right.
It's the oldest scam in the book. People at the top are wired to win at all costs, and that's how it should be. More power, bigger stakes. That's how humans are. If you can cheat in a game of poker, you're damn sure someone's cheating on a global level. Yet people are out here clueless thinking, oh, but they'd never cheat for control. Keep dreaming. The whole thing's a setup. And don't get me started on the fools out here begging for more laws, more government. You believe the system is corrupt, but you want to hand them more power. What kind of backward logic is that? I think about it, the people always shouting for more rules, they're backing the same corrupt system they claim to hate. Now, yeah, we need laws. No one wants to live in some lawless wasteland. But these governments, they're like a sick man hooked on medicine. Every time the world goes sideways, their only solution is more damn laws. Energy crisis, make a law. Society getting restless, more laws. They can't fix the real problem, so they just slap more control on everything. And before you know it, you're living in a damn prison built on law and order. You think it's for your own good, but all they're doing is tightening the noose. That's how tyrannies start right there. You're trapped in a society where just surviving becomes an uphill fight against their laws. There's an energy crisis. Law it up. Crime's too high. More goddamn laws. Inflation. Laws on top of laws. They keep printing these laws like they print money, and before you know it, there's a mountain of rules so thick it can crush anyone at any time. Now, here's what's funny about all this. I live in Romania, poorest country in Europe, underfunded cops driving beat-up Dacias that can barely hit 65 mph. You'd think it'd be chaos, right? But there's no crime and no massive rule book that people need to study to survive. It's simple, don't kill, don't be an idiot, live your life. Basic stuff. And that's how it is in a lot of places around the world. But then you look at other countries and it's like they need a damn law for everything. How to use your phone, a law. For what you say on the radio, law. For every tiny thing you do, at the bank. They're piling these laws up, and where do you think it leads? You keep stacking rule on rule on rule on rule, and sooner or later you're caging people and creating a society that'll be nothing short of tyranny. And that's the thing. When you're in a place that churns out thousands of new rules, every damn week you already know where that's heading. They're one step away from making it impossible for you to even leave your house without breaking some rule. And yeah, that's where it's going. Look at certain states in America, you couldn't leave your house. That's what happens when you drown in laws. And don't get me wrong, I'm not here to be some doomsday preacher. I'm just laying out the facts, playing this game of life like a chessboard, setting myself up so I can live a life that's true to myself, to God, to my family, and to my freedom. All I want is to be free, do my thing, and live without anyone trying to cage me. Now, there's something else here, and it's connected: free thinking. There's actually a link between having opinions that go against the herd and your testosterone levels. The higher your testosterone, the more you're likely to stand up and say what's on your mind, even when everyone else is following along like sheep. Biologically, it's simple high testosterone, and you're wired to defend your beliefs. If you stand up to a group of 5 guys and tell them they're wrong, there's a risk. Historically, that could mean a fight. So if you don't have the guts to face down that possibility of violence, you're just going to nod along and go with the group. But if you're wired like a man with real conviction, you're going to stand up and say it no matter the consequences. They've done studies that show people who aren't afraid to stand their ground, even if it means facing a fight, are way more likely to think for themselves. They're not just rolling with the herd. They're not afraid of confrontation. And that's a huge piece of why they think differently. Look, fish swim in schools.
Right.
Groupthink. It's a survival thing for them, and it's the same for a lot of people who just go along with the crowd. And let's be real, you can look at people, their politics, and just know exactly what they stand for. Sometimes you just see someone and you're like, yep, I know what side you're on. Biology is a big part of this, and yeah, I'll admit it, my perspective is biased. I was raised to be independent, to think I can handle anything on my own. It's in my DNA. I don't need the system to come save me. That's why I live the way I live, and I don't expect everyone to pack up and move to Serbia. It's my game, my chessboard. The guys who follow me, I tell them straight up, life as a man is brutal. No sugarcoating. It's fucking hard. I can't give you a cheat code to let you stay weak and still win. Doesn't exist. I tell you what I did. I made myself wealthy, powerful, surrounded myself with people no one messes with, built a life where I'm hard to damage. That's what works. You want to just comply, stay weak, stay stupid, and hope for safety. You're fooling yourself. That's not how you protect yourself from tyranny. This is why I teach what I teach, and why they find me threatening. I'm telling people to get strong. First step, go train. Don't care what you think. Don't care what you believe. Don't care what you think is fair. If you're weak, first thing you need to do is build your body. That's step 1. You want to sit here and debate with me that 2 + 2 is 5. Fine, we'll argue to the end. But if you're weak, you've already lost. It's about power, and the world operates that way, whether you like it or not. This is what I teach young men: get strong physically, mentally, and see reality as it is. And guess what? Some people hate that. Why? Because they know that physically strong men are harder to control. If I'm teaching people to strengthen their minds and their bodies, I'm making them resistant to this matrix of lies, and that's a threat to anyone trying to keep you compliant. People think I'm already saying what's on my mind, but trust me, this is only 20% of what I really think. There are limits in this world, times you speak and times you stay silent. But I feel a duty Logan doesn't feel, toward the future, toward my children's children. Some things need to be said, even if it risks my channel or my platform, because it's bigger than that. I have a duty. I feel a damn sense of duty, which he doesn't even get. He just wants to play it safe, keep the likes rolling, and let anyone else get canceled. If it means his channel stays up, he'll say anything the algorithm loves, all just to keep that clown act going. Please don't delete me. I need to keep being a puppet. That's him. But I actually give a damn about the world. If they delete me from everywhere, fine. I don't give a shit. I'll disappear from social media, no problem. I've got money, I'm good. I'll go off grid, take my car to the mountains, chill, live a good life. Doesn't matter to me. We're just built differently. If my main goal was protect YouTube, then yeah, maybe I'd talk differently. But that was never my aim. People can say he's smarter. I say he just has no spine and no morals and is quicker to sell out, simple as that. And let's get real. A lot of what I said, not even bannable offenses. The problem wasn't what I said, it's how many people were listening. My words weren't the problem, it's that they hit too hard, spread too wide. Now there's one thing I need to set straight, because it's the one that really grates on me. This whole idea that I was saying women should be responsible for every bad thing that happens to them. That's not what I said. Here's the real story. I was talking with a feminist who claimed we need to teach men not to rape. And I said, look, I appreciate your optimism, but I live in reality. Men already know rape is wrong. Her argument was to rewrite language, go back to school curriculums, do all this nonsense that, by the way, just makes men weaker. Because weak men are actually the most dangerous ones. We can talk about that later. Anyway, I told her people know stealing is wrong too, but guess what? People still steal. The Bible says don't steal. The Quran says don't steal. Every damn school says don't steal. People still steal. Imagine I walked around the worst neighborhood with $1 million in cash at 2 a.m. and got robbed. The police would say, why did you do that? People would say, Andrew, what were you thinking? Because I have to protect myself. I can't just hope people won't do wrong. I can't count on the world to be perfect. So I told her, wouldn't you agree that the smartest thing a woman can do to avoid danger isn't to sit here and rant on a podcast trying to retrain all men, but to take some personal responsibility and avoid dangerous situations in the first place? That's it. Straight facts. Look, I'm not saying this stops all rape. I'm not saying rape's okay. Hell no. Rapists, they should be executed, no questions. And I'm not saying every woman who's been assaulted could have prevented it. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying this, the smartest move any woman can make is to go, hey, this is risky. Going home with a guy I just met is risky. Walking through a rough area alone at night, risky. Maybe call a cab. Call your brother. Stick with people you trust. Isn't that just common sense? Isn't that smarter than telling women do whatever you want? Walk around at midnight, no problem. Men are the issue men need to change. I told her what you're proposing is some feel-good fantasy. What I'm saying can actually protect women. But when you go around telling women do whatever you want, it's all on men. You're basically setting them up to walk into situations where bad things could happen. Meanwhile, here I am saying, everyone, men and women, use your head. Look after yourselves. I'm a grown man, 4-time kickboxing world champion, and there are places I don't go alone. I came here with security because that's what an intelligent adult does. That's the point I was making. Women need to protect themselves too. They've got to be aware, make choices that avoid these situations. Pretty simple logic, right? But no, the narrative they spin. Andrew says rape's fine. Andrew says it's women's fault. I never said that. I never said any of that. It's complete insanity. When I talk to my niece, or when I have daughters of my own, if they ask me how to stay safe, I'm not going to say, oh, don't worry, we'll fix every man's mindset so you can walk around naked at night. No, I tell them stick with friends. I'll come pick you up. Who's going with you? That's just being smart. But they've taken this, twisted it, plastered it all over TikTok. The media latched on, lied, and then deleted me so I can't even respond. It's a scam, a total fucking scam. And it's funny because people close to me have said, Andrew, we're honestly impressed. The hit piece on you is insane, and yet here you are unfazed. It's not that I'm unfazed, it's annoying as hell. But at this point, I'm just looking at what I can actually do about it. Most people would be wrecked going through what I have, and yeah, it's brutal. I'm still here though, because I set up my life to withstand this bullshit. But how many people could take the world calling them a rape apologist and deleting them from everywhere? Calling them dangerous to women. Not many people could go through this and stay standing. What they've done here. Straight up criminal. It's bullshit, plain and simple. I was defending women, warning against these reckless feminist ideas like, yeah, just go out at night, walk around alone. I'm out here saying don't put yourself at risk, and somehow I'm the bad guy. And look, anyone who even thinks about hurting a woman in my family, that's the worst mistake they'd ever make. I'm the nightmare they don't want to face. And here's what's interesting. I didn't cast a spell to go viral. I'm not a wizard. People talk about how I became the most talked about man on the planet. And you know what? I did that while shadow banned. They've been trying to shut me down for ages, burying me in the algorithm while people like Logan get boosted to the top. But I'm saying things that hit home, things that people have been waiting for someone to say, and they're realizing finally someone's speaking my language. Now, if these social media giants had any sense, they'd have come to me and said, look, Andrew, let's control this. Tweak your message here, soften it there. I would have respected that. I get it. I'm not some loose cannon. I'm a logical guy. They could have had that conversation with me. But they didn't. Instead, they panicked and tried to chop my head off thinking that would silence me. But here's the reality. Millions of young men think exactly like me. They don't want to wear makeup, don't want to jump around in Pokemon costumes, don't want to mess with drugs that change who they are. They want to hit the gym, get strong, earn respect, make money, have a beautiful girl drive a sports car. And these social media companies think that by canceling me, they can just erase that desire. They think they can replace me with some makeup influencer and that all these men are suddenly going to care about foundation reviews. It's delusional. But hey, I've already proved it won't work. Chopping me down didn't change the way people feel. You can delete my profile, censor my words, but that drive, it's not going anywhere. Here's the thing that really pisses me off, the sheer hypocrisy of it all. I can't stand hypocrites. And the system, it loves to pretend it cares about men's mental health. It'll sit there with its fake sympathy acting like it gives a damn about the men who are depressed, struggling, barely making it. But when I come forward and share the only way I've ever found to find real contentment, to build status, push through pain, use every ounce of trauma I've faced to harden myself against this so-called matrix, what do? They delete me. If they cared about men's mental health, why would they try to shut me down? I'm the most popular guy on the planet and 90% of my content. It's motivational, antidepressive. But nah, they don't give a damn about the men out there who are struggling. They want to call me bad for women and throw me off. Suddenly men's mental health doesn't matter anymore, right? All these media puppets and system suckers love to throw around dangerous rhetoric this and harmful messages that. You think any of these clowns would actually respond to a message from a guy who's genuinely struggling? They don't give a single damn about the young men out there. They'd leave a guy on the edge, and if they did respond, it'd be some half-assed advice like, here, take antidepressants, binge watch my content. They're useless because they've never faced any real struggle in their lives. Meanwhile, I'm out here literally saving lives. I'm telling men the truth about this world. If you're not competitive, if you're not pushing yourself to be the best, you're going to be stuck depressed and losing in life. There's no magical mental health cure for that. It's just reality. You need to become stronger, sharper, and better. It's hard, it sucks, but if you rise to the top, then you've got a life worth living. I'm proof of that. A guy from a single-parent council state who had nothing, got stabbed, faced real hardship, and came out a multimillionaire. I'm giving young men hope, a real blueprint to change their lives, and they delete me for it. Then they push out articles on men's mental health and shove influencers and makeup down your throat. It's not just wrong, it's evil. It's criminal. I'm a positive force for the world, and they try to cut me off. This whole thing is part of the redemption arc. The world knows the story of the villain who becomes the hero. It's in every movie, every story we care about. The guy starts off as a maverick, too much out of control. And then the moment things get bad, you're looking around saying, where's Batman? It's only a matter of time before people start saying, maybe Tate was actually a good force for men. Maybe he just needs to tailor the message a bit. I'm human. I'll own up to needing to refine things now and then, but calling me dangerous and needing to be deleted is a betrayal to all men. And then they'll turn around and act like they care about men's mental health in articles and social media posts. They don't give a damn about the 18-year-old out there lonely, can't get a girlfriend, and sick of the inspirational athletes who pretend to care. They're not giving him what he needs. I am. I tell him the truth. Look at yourself, bro. You think you'd date you if you were a girl? I wouldn't. That's what he needs to hear. Here's the best part of being a man. You're born with nothing, no value. You get to build who you are. I decided I'd be a big, tough Bugatti driving kickboxer, and I made it happen. You want to be a musician? Great, go earn it. You want to step into the cage and beat someone to a pulp? Do it. You can be anything you want, but you have to get out there and make it happen. That's the path, that's what I'm saying, and they're terrified because I'm showing men the way out of the bullshit. It's tough out here. Being a man has never been harder. The competition's brutal, but that's what makes it worth it. You get a blank slate, and I tell men to look at themselves like that blank slate and go, yeah, maybe I ain't shit now, but I can become something. I can build myself into exactly what I want to be. Why would I give up on myself? And then they delete me claiming they care about men's mental health. They don't give a damn. It's all lies. Every year it's getting harder to be a man. 10 years ago, you didn't have your girl comparing you to every dude on Instagram. Now, if you've got a girlfriend, her feed's flooded with guys like me in Lambos, diamond watches, yachts, living it up. She's scrolling and her brain's trained to think, each him this guy. And if I or a guy like me slides into her inbox and you're there asking her to stay home and be good, you're just not the kind of thrill she's seeing on her screen. On top of that, she's hooked on Kardashian drama and reality TV. She's addicted to that chaos and she's expecting it. You can't give her that. She'll lose interest. This means your game has got to be tighter than ever. Your approach, your confidence, the way you keep her attention, it's all got to be on point. Listen, this is not the old days where you just stumble into a bar, get drunk, and wake up next to someone random. These women, their standards are sky high. They'd rather share a high-value guy like us than settle for someone on their level. That's why guys like you and me have options, and a lot of other men have nothing. That's how the game is now. And if she doesn't respect you, it's finished. It's not about love, it's about respect. Without that, there's nothing. I had women who flat out hated me, all right. They couldn't stand me, but you know what? They still respected me, they still worked for me, they still slept with me. That's the power. It wasn't about being liked, it was about being respected. So you want to be that kind of man. You've got to command respect. And let me tell you, one of the fastest ways to get that respect from women is to have it from other men first. If every guy in the room thinks you're a loser, why the hell would any woman think you're anything different? You want respect. You earn it by being worth something. You don't get it by sitting on your ass doing nothing. Get in shape. No one respects a fat dude. Get some money. No one respects a broke dude. These are the basics. And if you're not naturally pulling that off, find what you're good at and make it your edge. Be a fighter, a musician, the funniest guy in the room, whatever makes people notice and respect you. Your value isn't just handed to you as a man, you've got to build it. You don't get born with worth. You grind, you create, you hustle, you find what path works, and you make it happen. If you're not doing that, guess what? You're staying low value, you're stuck complaining while others are out there winning. That's reality. Now take learning something like piano. If you want to get good, you'd want to see your teacher play right. That's just common sense. If I told you I could teach you piano but couldn't even play Jingle Bells right, what the hell are you learning from me? Same thing with everything else. You want to learn from a pro, someone who's actually proven they know their stuff. A lot of guys out there are learning from these so-called gurus who have never done anything worth a damn. And yeah, it's on the coach, but it's also on you. If you're out there paying a fraud who's really at fault, you have a low IQ if you don't even check who you're learning from right. I'll be real, there are levels to this. Sure, some of these guys can teach someone way below them a thing or two. But me, I'd go straight to the top, find the best damn coach out there. Why? Because I don't want to be average. I want to be the best of the best. If you want that too, stop settling. There are so many clueless guys out here listening to these so-called dating gurus who tell them don't buy a girl a drink. Bro, you're not going to make it out here, not with beautiful women, if you're too damn cheap to buy her a drink. You think a woman who's worth anything, a high-value woman who's got standards, is going to be impressed when you can't drop a few bucks. It's delusional. Your worth is about grabbing and keeping attention. It's not about a couple of jokes or one-liners. It's about commanding her attention. People are always like, Tate, of course you get girls. You have a Lambo. Yeah, and that Lambo, it might get me a minute of her time. Sure. But if I open my mouth and I'm boring as hell, if I've got no game, she's out, man. She's not sticking around just because I've got a fancy car. You got to be able to back that up. And this isn't just about picking up women, man. It's about relationships. Guys come to me saying their marriages are dead, and I tell them, bro, you lost her. You let her attention slip. If you can't hold her attention, if she doesn't want to keep coming back to you, then that's on you. If I've got a girl who's been working with me, making me millions, it's because I've kept her attention day in, day out. She's dialed into me, period. And that's a skill, all right, push-pull. You've got to keep her engaged, keep her invested. And you know what? This fantasy of, oh, I just want a nice girl who'll stay with me and be loyal no matter what, wake up. That's not the world we live in. If you're not able to hold her attention and keep her loyal, she's not going to be that good girl for you. You got to be enough for her to want to stick around, or she won't. Look, any woman with me. She's mine, no other men. I don't care if she's a cam girl or whatever. Loyalty is loyalty. Just because of her job, that doesn't give her any right to mess around. These are my women, and they're completely loyal to me. You think it's unfair. From a biological standpoint, paternity matters. Men have had multiple women for centuries, and women stayed loyal. Don't expect it to be different. My women don't need guy friends. They don't go to clubs without me. They're dedicated to me, to their job, and that's it. And that's what I teach guys. If a woman's truly yours, she doesn't need to be out there hanging with other dudes. Why would she even want that? My women don't. They want me or they don't go. That's how it should be. If one of my girls even thinks about talking to another guy, it's over. I've had 75 girls at one point, and yeah, every now and then I'd find one messaging some dude, and it was immediate. You're gone. Bye. And they'd try to pull some nonsense like you cheated, so why are you mad? Look, I make it very clear me sleeping with other women isn't cheating. It's not, because for men, sex doesn't equal love. I could sleep with other women all day, and it wouldn't change a thing about my loyalty to her. But if she's out there talking to other men, then she's gone. I don't give warnings, don't play games, all my women are completely loyal to me. And I don't care what anyone says about OCAM girls, they're not loyal. I've had women with me for 9 years, women who are 10s who have stayed loyal. And I know they are because I see their DMs filled with messages from NFL stars, movie stars, and they ignore them. They live in my house and I see what goes on. You think I don't know my own house? These women are loyal as hell. And it's because I've set the standard. And part of that loyalty is a shared mindset, a worldview. If my girl really loves me, she takes on my beliefs. It's simple. I hear guys say, oh, I'm voting for Trump, she's voting for Biden. That's a joke. If she's really loyal, she's aligned with me. If she's loyal to me, she's got my worldview. And in my worldview, top-tier men, since the beginning of time, have had multiple women. It's natural in a high-value man trying to be loyal to just one woman. That's going against nature. She's got two choices. Either I lie to her and keep it hidden, or I'm honest. Do you want me lying to you? Do you want to be the girl everyone laughs at? Or do you want to know the truth that we're a team king and queen and these other women? They're just for fun, nothing more. Most of the time, if a girl's smart, she'll choose honesty. She'll get it. It's not complicated when you're transparent, but you've got to get them to see it. I'm in the top 0.1% of men on this planet. Why would I be loyal to just one person for life? It doesn't make sense. It's biological reality. You just need to shift her worldview. And here's the thing. When I'm with a woman who's been with me a long time, she'll say, yeah, it upsets me sometimes, but I know that's just who you are. They don't see me as some guy they can tie down. They know that trying to change me would just push me away. They get that nothing is going to change who I am or how I see the world. As a man, I believe I should be able to put my dick wherever I damn well please. If you don't like that, if you don't agree, there's the door. Find somebody else. It's a simple mindset. See, if you're bringing enough value into a woman's life, she'll deal with it. She'll sit there and think, all right, he's with other women sometimes, but look at the life I've got with him. It's like comparing a Ferrari to a Toyota. Sure, a Toyota might be reliable, but it's boring. A Ferrari, it might need a little extra care, but it's a damn Ferrari. So do you want the Toyota that's always there, or do you want the Ferrari that fires up 5 days a week? Exactly. And another key thing here, and I tell guys this all the time, if you're living with multiple women, they need to believe in your loyalty and your stability as a man. She needs to know that you're not some idiot who's going to get all emotional over a girl just because she's got a nice rack. That's the difference. I can sit my main girl down and say, listen, we've been together for 8 years. I've been with 150 girls since we started. Do you really think I'm about to fall for some random chick just because she's got bigger tits? Do I look like a damn fool to you? That's the level of respect and trust I've built, and that's what keeps things in line. And literally my girl will say, nah, you're too damn smart for that. And I am so, why is she even worried about me hooking up with some random chick? Like, who cares? Once a woman really knows you, really believes that you're solid as hell inside, they stop stressing over whether some chick with a nice rack is going to come along and mess with your head. Because they know I'm not falling for that. They might worry at first that some girl's going to trick you, wrap you around her finger or whatever, but eventually they're like, no way some girl's going to have any control over you. I've been here through all of it. I'm the one who's been through it with you, and I'll still be here. And that's how it is. She just wants to be the one I truly care for, and I get that. It is what it is. Now, with multiple girls in the mix, there's a balance you have to keep. It's like the fight game. There's always an A side and a B side. I'm the champ, so I'm the A side. And every new girl coming in, she's the B side. If I'm with my girl of 8 years and I bring a new one in, how could the new one compete with that kind of history? She can't not right away. And that's how you keep order in the house. To my main girl, I'm like, this is some fresh excitement. We're going to have some fun. To the new one, this is our lifestyle, this is how it is. And you got to drop just the smallest hint to the new girl that if she plays her cards right, maybe one day she could be the main one. Keeps them competing for that top spot, keeps them working hard for your attention, and yeah, they're putting in the effort. That's the game. But here's the reality: people don't get the work to reward ratio of living with multiple women. It's way more work than people think. Everyone's like, oh man, you're living the dream. I was living with 5 girls once, and it's like, yeah, sure, sounds amazing. But the logistics, total chaos. The sex ratio isn't what you'd think either. It's a mess. But they're making me a bunch of money, so it all balances out. But to pull it off, you need a solid frame, rock hard discipline. You've got to be totally unaffected by their emotions, uninterested in their drama. You just tell them straight up, this is how it goes, this is how our ship sails. You're either on board or you're overboard. Simple as that. Yeah, so it's a damn good question. Here's the thing though, it's actually easier when you've got more than 2 girls. With 3, they're always shifting alliances right, because that's how women operate. One week, two of them are best friends and they're both hating on the third one. Next week, two different ones are plotting together and it's like they're playing emotional Stalingrad over here, never getting their walls fully up. Keeps them off balance, keeps me in control. Now with just two girls, here's where I'm lucky. My main girl, my number one, she's trained, knows exactly how things run. She sees it as it's me and my man handling this chick together, not just him, us. She's our toy, not just his. So she stays way more loyal to me than to any new girl. They both snitch on each other too, always coming to me with some drama or the other, which is exactly how I like it. Have you read 48 Laws of the Game? You should. It's by Pimping Ken, Real Street Pimp stuff. He's dead on when he says, get yourself a solid bottom girl, the one who's truly down for you and helps you manage the others. It makes it so much easier. I got that with my main girl. Actually, I got two or three who are like that. I can bring any new chick around and my main one's there putting the rules down. She's like, if you even think about talking to another guy, he's kicking you out. Disrespect him. You're done. She puts the fear of me and her from day one. They're completely on my side, and that's what you need. And my main girl will come back to me saying she's listening to everything I say. She's following all our rules. It's us. And that's the game. It's about having that team mentality with your top girls. That's how I did it back when I ran the cam game. Put my best girl with the new girl, same setup, same cycle. Now look, I know the world's gone insane with this whole dating space, but anyone with a brain should see through these fake promises. You get these guys online saying, oh, I'm with a 9, and you're looking at her like she's a 3 at best. They all love to pretend they've got these dimes, but when you've actually been in this game like me, you know what a real 9 or 10 looks like. And you know what? A real 10's not blowing up these wannabe dating coaches. Please, guys, if you're listening, know the truth. Anyone who's talking about having a stable of 9s is probably getting messages from a 5 at best. They're lying through their teeth because they wish they could do what I'm doing. Yeah, it's amazing to have a setup where these girls make you money, but like any business, it's still a business. And if you're not about the money, you're just playing pretend. Most guys getting into this are just thinking about living with girls and getting laid. But that's where they mess up. I was all about the money. I didn't make millions by focusing on women. I focused on the cash flow. That's why if I had a 6 or 7 out of 10 bringing in more money than the so-called perfect 10, then guess what? That 6 or 7 got treated better. It's not about how hot she is, it's about the income she's pulling in. If you're going to do this, you've got to be about the money, not just trying to flex. It's a business and you've got competition. That's step 1. Second, yeah, you need to know how to get girls first. You're going to have to go through a whole bunch of women to find the ones who can actually make you money. Loads of them will flake, be lazy, or just not cut out for the grind. So first go listen to guys like John Anthony, learn how to pull women, sleep with a bunch, figure out who's actually useful. Then, when you're ready for the real game, head over to CobraTate.com. I've got a course that breaks it all down step by step how to make money from this. But know this, if you can't get women to listen to you, you're wasting your time. If you think, oh, maybe once I have a cam business, then women will start listening to me. No, women have to respect you from the start, and then you turn that respect into cash flow. Ever since this whole Corona thing, loads of chicks have jumped on OnlyFans. But here's the truth, if there's no man running the show, they're going to screw it up. Doesn't matter if a woman's doing OnlyFans, trying to be a lawyer, or even just stay home. If a man's not in charge, it's a mess. The ones making real money on OnlyFans, they're all under the control of a guy. If you see a girl claiming she's top 0.1% on OnlyFans, she's got a man behind the scenes. He's setting up the shoots, he's running the show. I've got a guy in my war room making $100K a month with 10 girls under his guidance. You can only kill it in this game if you're a man running things with a disciplined mind. Here's the thing, women's minds aren't wired for this hustle. They'll make a few $100 log off and chill for weeks. They don't have that drive, money. But with the right guidance, they can be taught. OnlyFans is gold if you know how to manage it. One Instagram page, some strategy from us, and boom. But it's simple, it needs a man to lead. And yeah, I'll tell you straight up, my main girl helps me train up the second girl. If the new girl doesn't like it, tough. My main's been with me 8 years, she knows the score. You want loyalty. You put in the work and prove yourself. And here's another thing, don't lie. Lying is weak, it's feminine. If you mess around, don't come home trying to make up stories about lipstick on your shirt. If you lie and she catches you, now you look weak, like you're afraid of her reaction. You're the man, own it. You don't have to be cold-hearted, but you tell her straight, yeah, it happened. She might not like it, but she'll respect the honesty a hell of a lot more than some weak lie. That's how you hold your frame. Look, let's clear this up once and for all. I don't lie, I don't trick, and I sure as hell don't need to deceive anyone. All these people saying, oh, he forced these girls onto Cam, he seduced them, he tricked them, it's all crap. There's no tricks. I've always been up front. It's simple, you're earning $1,000 a month as a waitress. I'll pay you 5 times that to live in my mansion and work on a laptop. Yes or no? There's no lie in that. I'm a straight shooter, that's just who I am. And as for lying, I don't need to. People don't even understand women. Women don't want to be right, they just want attention. You can't win an argument with a woman because she's not trying to win, she's just trying to get your focus on her. You prove her wrong 1,000,000 times, she doesn't care. She wants your attention, not the victory.